Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Asal wa Tahina. I am your host, Youssef, and this is my hostess, Tahina and Asal. You're not being
السلام
Um, يا
عليكم.
هلا.
here. I know we haven't been here for a really long time, and we're sorry. It's mostly because of Mariam. She's always canceling last minute. So I'm sorry about this.
This is peak professional عسل وطحينة. No, we had personal reasons of why we could not be here for a few months, but we're back and hotter than ever.
Yes, plus we had 1 month break also. So hope
Mental health, you guys.
it's still not better mental health, but it's okay. It will get better with time. So today we have very special guest, very special guest, very special guest, Mimi,
Very. Are you sure it's very?
and we're gonna be talking today about.
Boycotting.
Boycott. So yeah, we have Mimi here.
Hello.
For those who don't know Mimi, Mimi is a very special person in our lives, a very close friend, a smart, intelligent woman of many talents, one of which is professional boycotting.
Hi
Mimi,
guys.
Mimi is a person who you go to if you want to know if something is boycott or not, and she wanted to speak about it today, and also for us to have a chance to introduce Mimi, what she does, and have a conversation that because we do tend to yap a lot together, so we're just doing that now on camera and with microphones from Shella Radio. So we're really excited.
Actually,
From Ankali, please.
Thank you, Ankali.
Uh, so maybe for those who don't know you, if you want to like introduce yourself, who are you, Mimi?
Hello. I'm Mimi, and I think boycotts are really important, or very, as Yusuf would say. And yes, I am Mimi. I am a med student, and currently that's taking up most of my personality. Yes, I was born here. I am half Syrian and half Czech and Palestinian. And the Palestinian part was always like would always follow me throughout my life because my grandpa came from Palestine and then he emigrated to Lebanon, and after that he came to Prague also to study medicine. And of course he has so much trauma, whatever, but basically it would be transferred to my mom and she transferred it to me. So even though I am not very Palestinian by blood or by experience of like Palestinians in the place, I think, yeah, a Palestinian in diaspora, even though I'm mostly Syrian, like her. Okay.
Yeah, Mimi is mixed. Mimi got the difficult identities from all sides.
Yeah.
A woman, Palestinian, Syrian. So it's a lot.
But Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Guys.
And Czech. Czech
Yeah.
is the most difficult of all, of course.
Honestly,
No.
like the amount of beer you guys drink.
Yeah. Uh,
Please.
you
Please.
guys, she is
Please.
distancing herself. No, but so yeah, so you grew up here, but your background is Syrian, Palestinian, and Czech. And like I just wonder, and obviously I know because we're very close friends, but like for other people, kind of you grew up here. What was your story, and how did it how did you come to learn about boycotting? Where did you start? Especially you said like your family's from Palestine. It's something that naturally was um like you adopted, or no, not adopted, passed on to you, the trauma and the generational trauma. But other than that, like how did you get connected? What did you learn throughout the movement and all this? Like where did it start, Mimi?
Yeah. Well, like my mom is very involved and she's always been very involved. At the beginning it was just very emotional and it would be a topic every time like we would go visit my grandpa, but even at home like with my parents, Palestine was always a topic. And eventually as years passed, my mom wanted to become involved in the movement and I think I kind of entered with her and she went on her path. She's very cool. Okay, she was on the Czech television like I don't know, a week ago. Her name is Hanan Hamad. Okay, promo. uh, but you said like generational trauma. Yes, we can call it that, and of course the trauma part is a part of it. But how I also see it is like some generational wisdom that was passed on and some ways of doing things and the maybe like the ahar that Palestinians carry, but also
Her
the
is sorrow.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like this feeling of yeah injustice
Yes.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And so yeah, so like my mom would always be very um, resilient in it, and we were boycotting since we were children for multiple reasons. Part of it was Palestine and not supporting companies that support Israel, and also part of it was boycotting for other reasons, such as not buying from sweatshops and fast fashion and so on and so on. So I grew up in this environment, let's
Mhm.
say. And then in 2021, when Israel basically went into Sheikh Jarrah and wanted to take it all for them, and also started attacking Al Aqsa and Gaza eventually, um, I got together with a few friends and a community here in Prague, and we organized the first big march
Mhm.
in Prague, which was great.
It was like the first ever, like the biggest march yet for Palestine
Yeah, at that time.
in Prague
Yeah,
at that
yeah,
time. Yeah.
yeah.
I remember being there and
Yeah.
looking at these organizers, girls, and being like, wow, they're so cool.
And now you're her.
Well, now I'm friends with her.
Well, I don't do that that much anymore. I think we're gonna get to that, but yeah. So that was like start of my activist journey, political activist journey. But then obviously it calmed down a little bit. I was doing other stuff, and
Being a med student.
yeah, it was very exhausting. Guys, don't do it, please. Shan Allah, Shan Allah, don't do it.
Yeah, I agree. No, I'm surrounded by them. Don't do it.
Yes, no, it's fun, but don't do it. But then in 2023, when October 7 happened,
Before it, you were planning a protest for
yes,
Netanyahu's visit.
it's my hobby, guys. Okay, well, it was my hobby. Yeah, Netanyahu was supposed to come, I think October 7 or 8. So we were planning
Yeah.
a protest to be like, "Hello, please don't come. Like, why are you here? Go back, or go
Like
back to
you're
Poland."
You're not welcomed. Yeah.
Yes. But then October 7 happened, so this one was obviously cancelled, and we planned a different one. Yeah, and I think that was like the peak of activism. It was really difficult because um, at that point, uh, you had to be very careful about what you say, how you say things, and just how you operate. Otherwise, you could be completely cancelled, bro, taken to jail. There have been many people who were arrested at that point. So planning a protest or planning anything was really difficult. So it ended up being like how do you say pekni-akte? Like
I don't know what that means.
like I don't know, like a sadness.
Yeah, it was like a sad news, like mourning.
Yeah, it was for mourning basically.
Yeah, a mourning protest.
Officially, but obviously it was full of flags. People wanted to chant, but that there just wasn't space for that. But the fact that we did tone it down kickstarted something bigger, and yeah, like we got on Czech TV, and it wasn't in such a bad light. Yeah.
It must have been though so difficult to have to tone down such strong emotions and be so careful about what you say. I'm guessing.
Yeah, like it for me was what was really hard was telling Palestinians who came from Palestine, like, guys, don't chant. You are not allowed. Like, I have many emotions that I'm not expressing. I have many opinions that I'm not expressing, and I'm even expressing the opposite sometimes, just to make it to work somehow. And I felt really bad that I had to tell them to shut up, to tone it down, to tone themselves down, to tone their emotions down, because there was a lot.
And they're a person like to tone down their own personal
Yeah,
experiences.
exactly.
Was it
But-
because of legal reasons or like why?
No, well, my goal
We're
was
live though.
yeah. No, it was because I had a vision, and that vision was I want this to get somewhere. I don't want to be cancelled immediately, which was successful. Like
It was communicated to Czech society.
it
you
was
mean?
communicated to Czech society, and like these commentators came and they were like, yes, this is how you do it, and I didn't feel good about it at the time, partially because I'm like, bro, I have to do it your way. I cannot even more in my own way. I have to tweak it to your vision of how the correct victim is supposed to look like, even though we're not the victims in this scenario. So it's a very specific thing. But what was also difficult was that I was alone. There was no Palestinians. Which I'm like quarter Palestinian, and I was like the token person in the movement at the time. I was surrounded by Czechs, and there were a lot of Jewish people who were helping us. It was like great that from that point it was really, really nice. I felt safe from people that I wouldn't expect to feel safe with, I guess, to an extent. That was comforting, but still, I was alone. Like now, it's different. I have you guys. You like
It wasn't like the movement was not connected to so many Arabs. It was mostly
yeah,
Czechs.
yeah,
And
it was Czechs.
yeah.
And at that point, it started forming. Like after that,
Yeah.
obviously, like collectives started forming, and it became easier. But I burned out very quickly. I did like a few interviews. I think they were really nice, actually. Like
You mean the interviews on Czech TV and
yeah, like
Yeah.
on Deve and stuff. It was really nice, but
it led you to a burnout.
it led me to a burnout, and,
And
I haven't recovered properly yet. Even. Like
That's
it was really, really
fair.
bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
still in process. 2 years later. Hello.
She's working on it.
Yeah,
But it's fair for you to feel burned out after feeling like you have to carry this whole thing on your own, because I think for us, everyone who is connected or is personal experience or hearing from other people, like the thing that keeps you going is you have so many people around you who think the same thing and are trying to support you when it gets hard, and especially people who can relate to your identity. So after you started burning out and you took a step back, what did you do moving forward to take care of yourself but also to still be somehow involved or to, you know?
yeah. Like obviously, I felt a little very, very guilty for not doing what I used to do, but there's something that we're gonna even talk today. It's like the main topic of the episode, and that's boycott. That gave me, it was a tool for me to still participate in some form of resistance or activism. Even it's not really activism, it is resistance that I'm doing in my personal time, and is actually very effective. It has a different effect than protesting, but it's so good that Israel is so scared of it and is trying to ban it in many different places. For them, economic boycott is something scary. And it makes sense because for them to exist and for them to commit genocide, they need money, they need support. And if us as consumers don't give them money, then they will not have it, you know? Of course, there's taxes and stuff that, you know,
We can't control.
we can't control, but there's things that we can. And that's why I went down this, you know, rabbit hole of like being a boycott master. Apart from my madre drilling it in my head, you know, since I was, I don't know, why are you buying these lentil kit? This is Nestle. Okay, very bad, but she was right.
Yeah, and it's kind of like I just lost my train of thoughts. It's kind of a way, like you said, they are so terrified of boycotting because people think that if people emotionally and like mentally don't support Israel, that's going to change the situation on the ground. But we do live in a capitalistic world that is just moving on money. So no matter how you feel or what you think, if your money is still contributing to the state of Israel's economy, especially connected to arm production, then whatever you feel or what you think or you shouting in the street does not change anything, especially in a small country like the Czech Republic where the movement is so limited. But even anywhere, protesting is important, and it's important emotionally, morally, like for morals, to keep up morals and everything. But like money is where it counts a lot. So
Yeah, I think like as I got some distance from protesting, I realized something. Obviously, some people are gonna disagree with me, and that's okay. But I think protesting in our society is most
just one thing. By our society, you mean Czech Republic, or what do you mean?
white
is-
societies.
Okay.
Uh, I think it's mostly for us. Okay, like protesting. At least here, we've done so many protests. It has not changed a thing. People, yes, those who want to change their minds are going to. But protesting doesn't necessarily educate people, I think. It's for us to go in the streets and use our democratic right of, political protest. But it's mostly an outlet, and it doesn't move things. Protesting just does not move things unless you do it in a very radical way, which is not allowed, right?
That's why it's radical.
That's why it's radical, but
Yeah.
It's kind of it almost feels like this illusion of freedom, right? You have the right to protest as long as you don't break anything, you don't push any boundaries,
as long as you don't
as
create
you register it, like
yeah, as long as you don't disturb the normal flow of things, then you can protest. But that is obviously useless. But if you can disrupt the normal flow of money, which is the economic boycott, then you can change things. Like the apartheid in South Africa fell on sanctions, on embargoes. Like those are very powerful things. And obviously, as consumers, we cannot impose an embargo on Israel. A state has to do that, but we can do something else, and that is not give them money. And I feel like there's two reasons why should we do that, and that's like a personal level and then the actual like economic level. First of all, it makes sense that we are not going to give money to entities that support the genocide, so just a genocidal entity. And the other one is, why the hell would I want to buy something that I know is supporting this? Like, I don't feel very happy, going or like, I wouldn't feel very happy going to McDonald's perhaps and eating their yummy fries, but knowing that they also give these meals to IDF soldiers, and they feed them in order for them to like continue what they're doing, this support. Like, it morally doesn't feel nice. So I think there's two types of motivations why we should think of boycotting and why it's good.
Plus, also, like, most of these companies already are horrible and shit. Like Nestle, like for the environment, or like buying off water sources in all around the world and selling it back to the people that actually need it and stuff.
convincing mothers that they formula is better than breast milk, and then children dying because of it, like
And
Or
putting
putting
so much sugar
sugar.
in it, especially in Africa and non-European countries.
Like Nestle is a horrible company.
horrible.
Or like, I don't know, the popular boycott of Zara, for example. Like, yes, we can boycott Zara because of their CEOs or their fashion designers' statements, because they created a collection that was like super disrespectful. Like, I'm sorry, but the shrines and everything that they created, that was like just distasteful, even if it wasn't intentional. Like, you have to have a brain when you're doing things like this. But wait, I forgot my train of thought. What did
I
you say,
think you
Ro?
wanted to talk about Zara and the fast fashion, even though if you
Yes,
should boycott it.
Yes, there's two reasons to boycott it. It's fast fashion. It's made by babies in Turkey and Bangladesh, and it's part of like, it's so extensive. Like, it's part of like Inditex Group, which is Mango, Pull&Bear, Bershka, Zara. I don't know, other companies. Reserve, no, that's not underneath it. But like, they had so many affairs of like their buildings breaking down and falling on the workers, and the workers not getting even a dime as like replacement or anything. So they treat them horribly. That's one reason to boycott them. But then also, like, there's this aspect of some important people supporting Israel vocally within the company, which ew. And then there's the aspect of the fact that Zara is like 3, 4, 5% owned by shareholders that invest heavily into Israeli army. So and arm production and everything. So it's
Yep.
like,
Actually, today me and Mimi were talking about this, of like, you kind of calculated if you pay a certain amount in Zara, how much you're sending. What was it? If I pay 1,000 crowns, how much of it is being given to these investors who invest in Israel?
well, I was counting with 3%
Yeah,
owned
yeah,
by
yeah.
Vanguard and BlackRock, and so if you pay 1,000 crowns in Zara, 30 crowns are going to these companies, who then obviously they invest in a lot of things, but some of them is Israel and their army. So
And
30
arm
crowns
production.
of your purchase is going to a company that likes to kill people. which is not nice.
Yeah, and it's also like even let's say that the investment in arm even was not connected to Israel per se. The idea of us like paying for the production of arm with us buying shirts and dresses is absolutely horrifying, because at the end of the day a rifle is made to kill a person no matter where, and let alone knowing that this is connected to a genocide at so many more levels. And obviously I'm saying this while not being a perfect boycotter. I have to yeah, like lately. Yeah.
We're sitting on a moral high horse, like, oh,
No, we are not. And oh, it's
these
okay.
boycotts are like, oh, you have to boycott. How can you buy in
No,
Zara?
this is another thing we're going to talk about. We're not perfect, or at least I am not at all.
No, me neither.
Yeah, so we're just talking about it first, and then we're going to get to that of like how to
Yeah.
realistically boycott,
But
because
we
we
can-
are humans.
Yeah, we can talk about
Yeah?
it even now. Like,
Okay.
the fact that like we're promoting here this like really
Do we want to
important
do
thing.
like a quick mention of the main boycotts of BDS and like why
Oh, yeah,
do we
absolutely.
follow BDS, and then we can talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it? Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Huh?
20 minutes, so we're still fine on
Ah,
time.
okay, okay.
But no rush, no. We're chilling. We're chilling.
Yeah, so like we'll get to the moral high horse later, but I wanted to really like point out the boycotts that are really important, because I think people around me are super lost in boycotting, and I am as well. But there is some like points that you can hold on to that can help you. And one of them is BDS, which is Boycott Divestment Sanctions Movement, and they've got it really well done, where you have a priority targeted boycott. So it means that instead of all the consumers boycotting here, 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 no, there's few companies that everyone like, let's say, attacks by not purchasing from them and boycotting them, then they're more likely to be affected. So it's a smaller number of companies, but more targeted. And like I wanted to point out some of them, so that you just have them in your brain. Of course, you can look it up, but again, it gets very overwhelming, and I understand.
And like one nice thing about BDS that at least helped me when I started boycotting is, if you want to know exactly the reason why you're boycotting a certain company, they have it all in their website. You can always track it down, so you're not randomly like mindlessly boycotting. If there's something you repeatedly purchase all the time, you want to know why you shouldn't purchase it, to like put that moral line for yourself. You find out why, and then it gets harder to purchase it.
Yeah. So like some of them are, for example, Disney Plus or Disney in general, or SodaStream. It used to be an Israeli company. Now it's owned by Pepsi. Reebok, okay, shoes. AXA insurance, for example, CSOB, okay, a regular Czech bank gets their insurance through AXA, who invests heavily in the Israeli army. So if you have their insurance, travel insurance, cancel. Carrefour. I don't know how to say it.
In Arabic is Carrefour.
Carrefour. Ow. Carrefour. And then Dell Computers. Okay, Intel that makes chips or whatever for all of the computers. So like it's about buying mindfully as well, because you cannot avoid everything. And then obviously pressure targets. So like you want to avoid them as much as possible, even though we know it's not possible. And that's Google, Amazon, Airbnb, and Booking. Those are difficult, I understand, but just trying to find a different way that is even more sustainable for other reasons. And then a big one is Teva, which is an Israeli medicine company, pharmaceutical company. And basically, whenever you get pills in the pharmacy, you can just ask if it's from Teva or not. And most of the time, they give you an alternative, which is also mostly cheaper, because when you get it from a local pharmaceutical company, it's cheaper. So
Saving money while boycotting you.
yeah, bitch, go. Go off. Okay. And then of course there are organic boycotts that are basically the lower level, the lower tier. Oh yes. Yeah. Which is like McDonald's, obviously, Coca-Cola, Burger King, okay, what is it? Pizza Hut, Wix, the website company, okay,
Yeah.
all of those are complicit somehow. And then there's many more, okay? L'Oreal that has like 10 million other companies underneath it, like Garnier, NYX, all these things, okay? They are owned by Nestle, a big chunk of it, and they have headquarters in Israel. Okay, there's L'Oréal Paris, as we all know, and then there's L'Oréal Israel. Those are the only two. It's just not nice.
Not very nice.
Not very nice, guys. So like, I hope no one cancels me for like naming companies. You know.
Yeah,
like
is that
fucking
legal?
L'Oreal
Let's not talk about it.
Associates
It's,
gonna knock on my door.
And listen, we are following official boycotts that we did not come up with. These are information that we did not decide on our own. We are following the BDS movement, so if you have a problem, take it up with them. I'm sure they have more lawyers than we do. But yeah, so now that we jumped on that high horse, let's get back down and
Yeah.
actually figure out how can we ride it most of the time, but not all of the time, because sometimes our backs hurt or
Yeah.
our
Or we
or-
fall off the horse.
yeah, or my ankle hurts sometimes. No, not my ankle. That's not me. That's
You go to a Vietnamese place, you get yourself a nice plate of bumbo nambo, and they only have Coca-Cola owned drinks.
so you want it, and
you're
you
really
get it.
thirsty. Sometimes you get it.
Yeah.
And that's life, you know? Like life is never 100%. I don't know, guys. Like are you successful with boycotting 100%?
I will say for myself, absolutely not. It's
Yeah.
not. There are times where I break, and it's often when I'm having a little mental breakdown. But that's where I am at.
Yeah, me too. I also have breaks. But there are some companies where I've been successful 100%, but some companies not. So it's good to put it on priority.
Yeah.
So like the BDS ones, try as much as possible. But the second ones, like if I don't know, 4 a.m., nothing to eat around, and there's
Yeah.
only this putravani that only has
Or
nothing but
just
like
McDonald's
this
open in the middle
drink.
of nowhere.
Yeah,
Like it
then
happens.
yeah.
It really happens.
I have to say, I was in Ireland, and in a town, really small town in the north of Ireland, in the middle of the night, and alone, and there were no other options than either McDonald's or a place where I got chicken before, and I had a piece of bone in a strip get stuck in my throat. I chose McDonald's, and I ordered McDonald's lately, and I felt so ashamed. I was like, if my friends saw this, they would kill
But
me.
it's
But
okay.
but
No,
yeah,
like,
exactly. It's about
it's about
consistency,
it's
not
about consistency,
perfection.
not perfection. Exactly.
yeah. But
Like,
yeah, for sure, not perfect
Yeah.
boycotter, especially also with clothes. Like for a long time, I was boycotting Zara, but then I found out Mango's the same stuff, so I started boycotting Mango. But also sometimes, if you're not feeling very well and you need a specific thing, and you try on everything that is kind of not boycott, because all fast fashion should be boycott, but it's really hard in this world. And you really need something, and then you feel ugly and everything, you end up going to the store you shouldn't go into, and it's a whole thing. I wish I was better at that, honestly, with fast fashion.
But also, like, in my opinion, we should not put as much blame on the consumer. Like, the whole system is literally made and designed to keep supporting these genocidal entities. This capitalism where it survives on, like, giving sense to poor, like, people in places of the world and, like, exploiting resources out of them. So, yes, we consumers, as much as possible, try to boycott, but also try to put it in bigger perspective
effect
that
of you go breaking once, your boycott is very small. Like it's okay. I think there's again two levels of it. There's the economic level where like, oh, you don't want to break it because you want to target this company, and like if you do it and all the other people do it, then it will have an effect. But then there's also the moral aspect of like, oh, I shouldn't do that because this is not correct. And sometimes you just do a thing that's not correct because you live in a system that is designed for you to do the thing that you deem incorrect.
Yeah.
And I think accepting it is like really important. Yeah, like you cannot beat up yourself for all these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, like as I said, I've been boycotting my entire life almost. Like when you're 5, you don't really boycott, but like obviously, but yeah, I break it all the time. Let's say, you know, like not intentionally, but like as I consistently boycott, there come times where I use things that are just boycott because there is no other sensible alternative for me.
Also, like reasonably priced sometimes.
Yes,
But
exactly.
there are other times with the pharmaceutical company. What was its name again?
Teva.
Teva. you can save money by boycotting. And it's also, I just want to kind of remembering that obviously boycotting does not always change the world, because also sanctions do a huge effect, like in South Africa when the apartheid was falling. But also we can look at Starbucks stocks after like at the end of 2004, and they lost about, how much was it? I think $13 billion or something. Like it was a huge number. And McDonald's lost a lot because of getting boycott. So it's the idea of like, it's not your individual responsibility, it's our collective responsibility to support each other. And I think there's like nothing wrong with like collectively jokingly shaming each other for it, but
Yeah,
jokingly,
definitely.
like I'm not gonna bully someone who did was short on money and wanted to get a quick snack, and the only thing they had around was, I don't know, McDonald's, and they grabbed a cheeseburger. Like, but jokingly I will always tease
Be
them.
like, hello, like you could have been hungry for 24 minutes and gotten something else.
Exactly.
Like it's always about being sensible. If you can wait being hungry for a
It's
little while. Is it Hamada?
not
Oh.
the other Hamad.
Or Hamza.
شو اسمه? Yeah.
Be hungry.
Be hungry for a while. Like
Get hungry.
it's not that deep. Like unless it's really 3 a.m. and you haven't eaten since, you know,
Yeah.
like it's okay. Be inconvenienced a little bit. This is supposed to.
Yeah, this is the idea of
Inconvenience,
like, we live in, especially here in Europe and in the West in general, we live in such a comfort
Yeah.
based life. It's so difficult for people to get uncomfortable and don't have these perfect resources, and we even
And everyone
perfect
has this
temperature and perfect
and
food.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we can get a little uncomfortable
Yeah,
sometimes.
and it's
For the privilege that we have all the
Exactly,
time.
the discomfort in the privilege that we get by boycotting is so minor that it's okay.
Yeah.
Like it's really fine.
Also, just a small thing. One of the small symptoms of like white supremacy is the right to comfort, feeling like you have this right to be comfortable everywhere you go, and you have the right to have space, you have the right to be comfortable, you have the right to have stuff served to you in this specific way, and it shows up in like many other ways, but it's just food for thought.
Yeah, I'm just remembering a situation where somebody um, from a more privileged background, not a person I knew closely, but I knew that about them. They got a little uncomfortable and they were really emotional about how unfair it is. And it was such like an emotional experience for them, that this is extremely unfair. And it was a moment that I realized, oh, for them, discomfort is unfair. Where to me, discomfort is just discomfort, because I'm not saying that I'm not privileged, I'm privileged in so many ways, just had the life experiences that were more discomfort than what I can experience here. So, yeah, discomfort is something that we all need to get more used to.
I think it's good for character as well.
Yeah,
Like,
character development.
like obviously it's nice to be comfortable and it's good to foster some stability and capitalist self-care. We all love that. But being a little uncomfortable is okay.
Yeah, like our bodies are made to handle so much
Yeah.
discomfort, and we now live in a world where we're not experiencing enough discomfort, so we get anxiety.
This wise woman.
I thought you called me white. I was like,
No. I am the white bitch.
yeah, she is. But anyways, we're gonna have to finish soon. So, do you have any last minute anyone? Because we've been
Yes.
focusing on Mimi a lot,
Sorry,
because
guys.
she's our go back where you came from.
Sorry, guys.
which
I'm a
is
yapper.
Czech
Okay,
Republic.
you brought me in.
Yeah.
You have to suffer
No,
the
but do we have
consequences.
any last points, remarks, anything about boycott, any emotions we want to share? I would like to share, for example, that I am tired and that I am craving really badly something sweet, but not this one. That's all I have to
I
share.
wanted to share two things. One thing is that yesterday I ate a half of a Lotus Biscoff spread jar and my tummy hurt, so I'm not gonna have anything sweet. And the other point was that I wanted to tell you guys about this No Thanks app. It's really, really good.
Wow, that was such a good, like, smooth TV. Like, so yeah, this No Thanks app.
Yeah. Paid partnership.
It's not.
It's not. Yes, it's a really, really good app. Basically, you have it in your phone and you can just type in the name of whatever you want to buy, and it tells you if it's boycott or not. And if it is boycott, you can open proof of why it is boycott. So
Can you also?
you can scan. I don't know. I've never tried it. Like maybe it's catered to like the American markets and they have
Yeah.
different codes, but you can always type it in, and it's really really useful because you don't have to carry all the information in your head. Because again, like okay, we say Nestle is boycott, but do you guys know like what all belongs to Nestle or what all belongs to Coca-Cola? Because for example, Naturella Voda water belongs to Coca-Cola. You know, Fanta belongs to Coca-Cola. Natural, yeah, belongs to Coca-Cola. So you might as well get yourself a fucking Fanta and be happier, you know? So, so this is very good. Or, yeah, L'Oreal owns everything, guys. Ugh. So, yeah, I'm gonna shut up.
Or there is like this boy cat app,
Ah,
and it's by barcode. And I was making a joke one time. I was like, haha, imagine this like random coconut milk. That's the only language that's on it is Thai language. I was like, imagine if it's owned by like Nestle Universal. And I scan it, and it was owned by like
Unilever.
Unilever. And I was so surprised. I was like, what the fuck? It's insane. Like, it was
They
from a
own
random
everything.
Potravini. I just bought a random coconut milk,
Late
and it was owned
stage
by.
capitalism. That's where we're at.
Yeah, you think you have so many options, but it's just same six companies. Yeah. Oh. But I was thinking about the protest that we are talking about in the beginning, and I was thinking, like, yes, like protest is a viable way to do things, but there's also other viable way to do things, and we don't have to prioritize one that looks nice or heroic. And also, unfortunately, I've been thinking about like in the Czech context, or at least in European context, protest actually is beneficial. At least peaceful protest is beneficial because it shows, oh look, we have this like freedom of expression that's allowed here, and
We're
as
saying
long as
this
it's
as some of us or all of us, I don't know, allegedly help plan a lot of protests. So we're not saying this like we're hating on people who plan protests because we've done it so
no, no,
many
no, no.
times.
Like protests are very valid, they're viable, but
Allegedly.
it shouldn't be like the only way to do things. There is direct action also. There is other stuff. There is less stuff. There is whatever capabilities and resources you have around you that you can use and privileges, use it. And people have different things. But I was just thinking about like these like peaceful marches or like these like peaceful protests is actually very beneficial to the system we're fighting against because it shows, oh, we have space and we allow for opposition, so we truly allow for freedom. But no, try to show up somewhere without police permission and you're gonna get beat down. Try to
And
go
you see that
to
in Berlin.
try to go to Barclays, for example, the bank, and do something, and that's it. You try to go to an armed company that literally sells weapons to kill people, and you just like damage the gates or put red paint, which is like nothing, but still it's considered a terroristic act. So yeah,
Yeah, the deeper you get into it, the more you find out that the system we live in is really twisted and it's really not nice.
So rude.
It's not cute.
nope. So, any last remarks?
Thank you guys for having me here. It was really nice.
Of course. Thank
Yeah.
you for coming.
I'm so happy to have you guys. This is one of our closest friends who's probably gonna disappear again, but I'm gonna lock you up in the
Or we
closet
do
and-
like, pew, and you disappear.
yeah, no, but so hopefully next episode is gonna be soon, which is it gonna be in a month? Probably in a
Yep.
month.
We'll see.
And maybe we'll bring more people on or have more interesting conversations. We're gonna try our best to share tonight just the basic BDS list on our stories.
Yep.
Just
Or
a
just follow
quick
them on
reminder.
Instagram also.
Yes, follow
They always keep
BDS,
reminding you about
on
stuff.
Instagram. They always post, they remind, they talk about new boycotts. Like for example, they were one of the reasons that Puma dropped the Israeli soccer team as their sponsors. So now Reebok is their sponsor. So now Reebok is boycott, and I still boycott Puma because of the sake of it. But yeah. So anyways, please remember to boycott. And remember to boycott like this queen, imperfectly but consistently. You know what I mean. And yeah. Bye, Mimi.
Bye bye.